I'm Mark Sardella. Today is July 9th, 2008, and this is Local Energy News, bringing you news from around the world with a focus on policies and practices that are helping or inhibiting your community's efforts to build local self-reliance in energy. And now the news. Crude oil prices have fallen from last week's high of more than $145 per barrel and are trading this morning at around $138 per barrel. They're heading back up today, however, on news that Iran has been test-firing missiles in response to U.S. and Israeli threats. And the Department of Energy released its short-term energy outlook yesterday, predicting that oil prices would average $127 per barrel in 2008. Last year's average price was $72. The report also shows that world oil consumption has continued to rise despite 7 consecutive years of rising prices. Worldwide consumption is expected to increase through 2009, according to the DOE, although U.S. consumption is projected to decline. The state of Pennsylvania could reap nearly $1 billion in additional tax revenue by implementing a natural resource depletion-tax. That, according to the Institute for Local Self-Reliance, which recently completed a national survey of depletion-tax policies in use in the United States. Their study was prompted by recent sharp increases in the value of mineral resources and recognition that the state's residents who own the resources are not benefiting from their newfound wealth. Adding a depletion tax or updating an out-of-date tax structure would increase tax revenues in Pennsylvania by $840 million annually. New Mexico could enjoy another $250 million in tax revenues by updating its severance tax policy, and California could balance its state budget with the $2.3 billion it would raise. The report appears on the company's website at ilsr.org. And finally, 4 utilities in the state of New Mexico are seeking proposals for a solar electric power plant to be built within the state. The solicitation is for parabolic trough technology, in which thermal oil travels in pipes through rows of mirrors that are curved to focus the sunlight. The hot oil then powers a conventional steam turbine. According to the solicitation, the plant must deliver enough electrical energy for at least 29,000 homes and must be online by the year 2012. While traditional solar trough plants consume up to 1,000 gallons of water per megawatt hour of electricity produced, the New Mexico project will require either dry cooling or hybrid cooling, which raises the cost of the electricity but can reduce water consumption by more than 90%. Likely bidders for the project include Bechtel Corporation, who already has a similar project in Mexico and manages the National Laboratory at Los Alamos, New Mexico. Ten years ago, in 1998, New Mexico's largest investor-owned utility, PNM, solicited bids to build a 5-megawatt solar electric power plant. Had the project gone forward, it would have been the world's largest operating solar electric power plant. But the project was stopped when 28 small solar companies in New Mexico, including my own, filed an objection. As members of New Mexico's Solar Energy Industries Association, each of us had mixed feelings about stopping a project that would surely bring attention to our state's solar industry. But the more we learned about the project, the clearer it became that we needed to intervene. The $50 million price tag for the project was to be paid by ratepayers, financed over 20 years. But at that time, the cost of solar equipment was falling every year, so we showed that by building smaller plants each year, we would end up with 3 times the installed solar capacity. Taking out a 20-year loan on equipment that falls in price every year makes no sense, we argued, but the project marched on anyway. PNM was moving into the solar business, our business, with no risk, we argued, because they were allowed to bill all of their costs to ratepayers. This while we were building solar power systems that needed PNM's permission before they could be interconnected, permission that could be denied at any time, including after a system was built and ready to operate. Again, our objections were cast aside. We filed a Freedom of Information request for the bids that had been submitted on the project and found that the contract for the power plant had been awarded to the company that had received the lowest score on technology. It turned out that that company already had a contract with one of the members of the evaluation committee, but even this conflict of interest was not enough to stop the project. So, what finally put an end to PNM's quest to build the world's largest solar power plant? We asked one final simple question about the project. What was PNM planning to do with the solar energy produced by the plant? It turned out that after collecting money from ratepayers to cover 100% of the costs of the plant, PNM was going to sell the solar energy back to us. That did it. The project was mortally wounded when news of the double billing hit the streets. Now, 10 years later, investor-owned utilities are contemplating another solar power plant, this one about 20 times the size of the last one. It's too early to tell whether the same mischief will take place, but we can say with certainty that this project is based on the same poor premise of putting investor-owned utilities in control of renewable energy. This while Denmark and other countries nationalize their power grids, modernize them to eliminate central control so that they can accept more renewable energy, and then promulgate feed-in tariffs to encourage small, independent companies to build renewable energy. We can and we must do the same in the United States, but only with your help. For more on the benefits of nationalizing the electric power grid and to find out how you can become involved, check out our website at localenergynews.org. I'm Mark Sardella. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.